Hey everybody, David here, and today I want to talk about Crisis on Infinite Earths, Part 3. This was on the Flash's series this time. And yes, this is the final episode for the new year. We still got two more episodes to go for Crisis on Infinite Earths, but let's talk about the Flash part of the crossover. Obviously, we begin with seeing another Earth. I think the Earth was Earth 203, where the Birds of Prey, if you guys remember, there was a Birds of Prey TV series back in 2002. It came after the success of Smallville, the WB at the time, which eventually became the CW. Decided to try to make an all-new superhero series, but starring all women. And Birds of Prey, not to get confused with the movie, even though the movie is based off the same comic book. It starred the Huntress, a Black Canary, a different version of Black Canary, of course, and Barbara Gordon, who was Batgirl, that eventually got crippled by the Joker and became Oracle. And we had heard that Ashley Scott, who played the Huntress, was going to cameo, which she did, and that was really cool. What I wasn't expecting was them forgetting, I forgot what the actress's name was, but she played Barbara Gordon, Oracle, in the Birds of Prey TV series. They actually got her back to do the voice in this episode, just for that small part, which was freaking awesome. That just added so much more to me because Barbara was actually a really good character in that show. And Barbara in general, if you like Batgirl and how she becomes Oracle, that's kind of what like Felicity and Chloe from Smallville were kind of based off of. They were always the Oracle type character. I think even in one season of Arrow, they played around with the idea of calling Felicity Oracle, and they didn't. So yeah, it was really cool that they got those two back together. I'm surprised they didn't throw in Dinah Lance, Black Canary, from that show in there, because she's currently on Batwoman, playing Batwoman's sister. So they could have probably, even if they really wanted to, they could have thrown her in there too. So it was a nice cameo. I thought much better. I think the weakest cameo so far has been the Titans one, but this one was a nice little cameo. I prefer them saying a couple of lines rather than saying nothing and then getting wiped out. The Titans cameo was still cool. It just, I wish they said something. Moving on. The legend, not the legends, the heroes that are still around they realize that they need to gather up the rest of the heroes that they're going to need help with to defeat the Anti-Monitor. And so Ray powers up the computer to look for the remaining heroes. One of them is John Jones, the Martian Manhunter, who Kara wasn't too surprised about. I forgot who the other one was. But anyways, and the third one, there's I think 6 of them, right? There's Sarah, Supergirl, Flash. Oh, Barry, that's right. Barry was the other one that was confirmed in this episode. Flash, Martian Manhunter, the Superman, the Brendan Routh Superman, and I think that was... Oh, and I think his name is Ryan Choi. He was a new character that we haven't seen before. In the comics, apparently, he is another character that takes up the mantle of the Atom. So they had to go and recruit him, and I'm forgetting who. I watched the episode early this morning, so some things are a little fuzzy for me right now. I think it was... You know what? I'm not even gonna go. Some of the characters go and get them, and I'll say I did like the character's personality. I think he does seem like a really cool character. If you've seen Supernatural, he's been on that show. He played the character of Kevin, and so it's good seeing that actor fit along with the cast here. I thought he was a really nice character to add on to all of this. We even get Lex Luthor, who is a conniving little SOB. Maybe I'll save him for a little bit later, but we get what other cameos? Oh, we get a Lucifer cameo. People, I don't watch Lucifer. I've only seen one episode. It was back, I think it was season 3, where Tom Welling was was having a recurring role in that season, and that was the only Lucifer episode I saw. I just saw one because I wanted to see Tom Welling back on TV. And so I didn't really pay attention much to the episode because I can't get into shows that I haven't started from the beginning at. But it was nice. I really liked the cameo that they gave him in this episode, especially he came from Earth 666, which is the number of the devil, if you guys don't know. So his interaction with Mia and Constantine and Diggle were actually funny to me. As someone who's just never seen the show, I thought the scene actually was charming. So I'll leave that at that. Man. Oh, yes. And then we also finally got Black Lightning in this episode. Black Lightning comes after Barry, Cisco, and Caitlin find the new Harrison Wells, who has a new name. Just like he's got an upgrade, just like Lila has. But Lila's messed up in the head right now because she was affected by the Anti-Monitor. But yes, this Harrison Wells, I think name was Pyra or something like that. I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna call him Harrison Wells. They locate this tunnel. It was the tunnel that Harrison Wells was already looking for in a couple of episodes on The Flash already. But we finally find out what's behind that wall. And it turns out the 90s Flash is there, and he's running on a treadmill that's stopping the destruction of all the Earths very quickly, very rapidly. That's actually what's slowing down the process. And eventually they realize, look, we're going to have to destroy this thing. And that's where Black Lightning comes in also, and he's like, what am I doing here? And as someone who hasn't been keeping up with Black Lightning, it did happen abruptly for me, so I was like a little confused, like, wait, what's going on here? And then they kind of had Harrison Wells and Black Lightning kind of had some exchange, saying that he went and saved them from his Earth. So I've been kind of frustrated not keeping up with Black Lightning this season, and I knew some tie-in was going to happen. I'm kind of sad that I didn't get to see it though. But it was cool seeing Black Lightning and Flash working together. And unfortunately, the 90s Flash sacrifices himself because they realize Flash, when the Monitor said that the Flash had to die, the 90s Flash realized, he said the Flash has to die. He didn't say which Flash. And that was a theory I had. I don't know if I said it on video, but I know I thought about it weeks back, thinking that I think it's a bait and switch, that I never thought Barry, that we know, Grant Gustin, was going to die. I knew it was, there was a part of me that says there's going to have to be something else. And one of the things that did cross my mind, knowing that the 90s Flash was going to be in the crossover, was that I felt that he was a possibility that could take the place of that Flash, and I'm happy that a theory I thought of was right. I don't know if I said it on camera. I have to go back and watch a couple of videos where I talked about it, but yeah, that was really cool that I got that right. Is that all? I think that's all. Well, okay, not really, because then that's where Lila eventually comes on the ship after everybody returns. And Lila is revealed to be possessed by the Anti-Monitor, and the ship destroys the Time Rider and everything, Wave Rider and everything on it. And thankfully, Harrison Wells sends all the important heroes that are important for this battle against the Anti-Monitor. He sends them all to a safe haven kind of thing. And we are revealed that Lex rewrote the Book of Destiny, so he switched places with Brendan Routh's Superman, which I was very pissed about because I wanted to see more of Brendan Routh as Superman and wanted to see him in action helping everybody, and I was sad that they took that away from me. But you know what? That's a Lex Luthor move, so I'm going to give it to the writers, and bravo. That is what probably Lex Luthor, a conniving Lex Luthor, would do. He would be smart enough to do something shady like that. One more thing that I forgot to mention, and I should have, one of the bigger things in the episode before I end this video, Oliver Queen, Mia and Constantine and Diggle go into purgatory to retrieve Oliver's soul. But Oliver decides not to go back with them. And I thought that was interesting. But the more interesting thing was Jim Corrigan, I think the character's name was, if I remember correctly, which is a familiar name to people that watched Constantine, which I'm glad they referenced, because after the name was introduced, Constantine says, "Not my not the one that." That might be your name, but that's not the one you're not the guy that I know. Because that character did appear in Constantine. And when that character appeared there, everybody thought, oh, they might be setting up the Spectre. The Spectre is a character in DC Comics. I don't know too much about the character. I'm a little bit aware of him. And his eyes glowed green. So what does this mean? There have been some theories going around that Oliver might become the Spectre. Which is interesting because I think Hal Jordan also became the Spectre at some point in the comics. I don't know, maybe somebody who's more of a comic book expert than me can clarify that. I do find this interesting how they're bringing him back, because I was kind of worried when they were bringing him back. I'm like, oh man. I mean, I knew Oliver had to die, but if you're going to bring him back, do something special with it. Don't just make it another, well, now we got to bring him back, and here's his soul now, and that's where I thought it was going. But no, they surprised me a little bit, and it didn't go exactly that way. So I'm looking forward to see what they're going to do with Oliver. So will it happen in the next episode? I think it will happen in the next episode, because the next episode is the Arrow episode, and I think they want something big. If they're going to do something with Oliver in this crossover, they're going to have to do something big with him. And that would be the perfect episode to do it. Towards the middle or the end of the episode, for sure. They're going to do something huge by bringing him back. So we'll see how they do it. I'm looking forward to it. So with that being said, guys, this was another solid, really great episode of the crossover. So part one, probably my least favorite. Some people have convinced me that to look at certain things in a different way. So it has grown on me a little bit more, thinking about it more. But I do think part 2 and part 3 are far superior than part 1. Part 1 was really set up for the story, and I think part 2 and 3 is giving a lot of people more what they want to see from the crossover, the interaction with the other worlds. It has been really cool so far. So I don't know how part 4, I have no theories on how part 4 and part 5 are going to wrap this whole thing up. There has to be some huge battle in part 5 with all the heroes somehow. I don't know how. I think it's going to look epic. I hope they have some of the alternate universe heroes. Mark Guggenheim said there are still more cameos to come in the last 2 hours, and nobody knows what those cameos are, because all the ones that were announced, we've already seen them all, so I have no idea who else they could have left. There's still a lot to look forward to in the next 2 crossovers. Could we get a movie character showing up in there, a current movie character? It's very possible, so we'll see. With that being said, I hope you guys like this video. Leave down your comments below on the episode if you want, and leave down your theories, anything that I might have missed out on. And until next time, everybody, take care.